everybody. Hopefully I get some folks joining in today. I am going to do another page in this, I'm calling it my nature journal. So I've done this in a couple of live videos already. So I just had a bunch of random photos of nature, animals, that kind of thing. Isn't that cute? And yeah, so I printed them out and I'm just going to kind of play around with this every now and then. So this is the page I'm going to do today. I've got some things ready to go up here, but my first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little stenciling on top of this binding piece. So the book itself was made with one of the specials from David. Let me just find it so I can show you. I should have grabbed that out. And of course now I can't find it because I've put it away somewhere. Special. Don't know where. That's terrible. Ah. Anyway, I will find that and post it in the comments. I don't know why I don't have it sitting here. That's very odd. Sorry, folks. Hopefully you can hear me. Anyway, that was a special that David did for the Bamford Treat previously. That's weird. I don't know where I put that at. Anyway, I made this live. You can go back and watch that. I've got to still upload my live videos to YouTube if I haven't already, to make sure they don't get lost because of the new changes that have come out with Facebook. I don't have a lot of live videos on my own channel, but I do have a few, so I'll make sure any ones that are not already on YouTube get put up there. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So this is one of the stencils from the new set, the Hinged to the Past set. And I'm just going to go ahead and do some inking on this little piece in the middle. So I grabbed out my light brown ink and one of my blending brushes, get that nice and inky, and then I'm just going to add that on here. So just using scrap paper to cover up my pretty paper, because of course it would have been much better to do this before I attached it, but I did not plan to do this at that time. But I'm hoping this will look nice and just add a little bit extra to it. I just moved it. It's a little bit awkward, definitely doing it this way. You saw it just shifted. Hopefully anybody that pops on will say hi so I can see who's here. Oh, there. It's not a lot, but it just adds a little bit of something to it. So there we go. So I like that. Like I said, not a lot of difference, but just a little bit of something. Okay, so I'm going to start on my first page. So these are all the pieces. I did a bunch of prep work for these pages just to make sure that you weren't watching me do too much mundane things. So yeah, I'm just going to ink up the edges of this little flower. So this flower is cut from the new lace set, right? So it's this one here, laced. So I just cut it out of some of my darker green cardstock and just lightly going over this just to kind of put a little bit of color on the edges. Even though I'm rubbing it all over the top, it mostly just picks up the edges. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, I don't need to put that away yet. Oh, and I'm dropping things already. Oh. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay. So this is a paper from one of the books, reminiscence books, I think. It came out of book 2, but I couldn't say 100%, but it's that one. It had a bunch of pink kind of colored tickets on the other side. So I'm just going to tuck that under. So I'm just going to ink those edges. And then these tags also came from one of the books, but I cut them out quite a while ago, so I don't remember which book they came from. And I cut out a mat to put under my photo, so I'm going to ink that too. And then, did I get out my crocodile? I don't think I did. I'm going to put a little, oh no, because I don't need my crocodile for this. I'm actually going to use a brad. So when I was working on something the other day, I was looking for some eyelets. Anyway, I couldn't find what I was looking for, but I did manage to find this little tackle box full of stuff that I had forgotten about. So I had this, oh, really long time. But anyway, I did find in here some brads, metallic colored brads. So I just want to find, if I do that, see if I can get out the right one. It's not the best solution for these because they're hard to get out, and now I've moved that. But anyway, I want one big one, and then I have a smaller tag on my other page, so I'll get that out, and hopefully I won't lose that while I'm doing this. So I'll set that down there. Put this little treasure trove away, and just have a little foam mat here, so I'm just going to poke a hole in here to make it easier to stick my brad in there. And then fold that down, but make sure it's folded sideways so it doesn't stick out the top. See, I got a few folks watching, so pop a hello in the comments. Hopefully they're working. It says it's showing them, so hopefully you're not commenting and it's not showing up. Okay, so I'm just going to start to assemble things. So this page is going to come together fairly quickly. I'm not a huge person for layering, just because I don't know, I'm not very good at it, I guess. So I think anyway, I'm going to leave that to the end. So I'm just going to put some adhesive in the middle here so that I can do some tucking underneath. So let's put that about there. And then I'm going to tuck this tag in. And that can go. Oops, it's very sticky now. Gotta get it in the right spot. Where do I want it? I'm going to go there. So then I think I'm going to put that like over top. So maybe I'll shift this a little bit more there. So then that can kind of go like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to tuck this little pink ticket in underneath too. Put that there. And then hopefully this doesn't make a mess using my liquid adhesive. Sometimes I end up with too much and then it kind of oozes out. One of these days I'll get around to getting one of those lovely guns that a lot of folks have. But so far I haven't managed to pick one up. Okay. So I'll tuck this in. Ooh, kind of like that. Overlapping like that. There we go. Like that. Stick. And then this one. Could even put this up here. I think I will. I think I'll put that up top. I'll go like that. Oh, that was quick. This might not be a very long live. We'll see. I think I need to put a little bit more adhesive under there now though. We'll just squeeze a little bit of this under there. There we go. Okay, so now our next page, a little bit fancier. But again, I've done a lot of the prep work. So see, this is why I wanted to decorate up this little center hinge, because it's quite visible. Anyway, so for this page, I used the journal sleeve fillers set. So this is the second one. This is part of the hinge from the past collection, and I've used this frame here with the matte layer. So that one I've used, and then that one I've used on the next piece that I'm going to do. So I'm just going to set these aside again, just little more pieces that I cut out of the reminiscence books. There's another flower from that lace set, or well, leaf flower, I don't know. Oh, I just remembered something else I was going to do, but I think I could still do it. And then, so there you can see that's that matte. I cut it out with vellum. You can hopefully see the actual stitching on there. And then that's going to go like that. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up everything, but I think I'm going to trim this. So this little tag I trimmed out the way that it was shown, but I feel like it needs to have a little bit of a different shape. So hopefully I can do this and keep it looking even. See how that goes. Looks not too bad, I think. I'll ink that up. That will help make that edge look better anyway. And then that is where my little brad is going to go. So these ones here are the thinner paper, because they're just getting tucked in behind, and they're not really needing to be very structural. They're perfect thickness. This one I had already cut out for something else, so it was just a scrap piece left over. So it's the thicker, heavier, more cardstock one. Probably gonna have to cut that in half, because see, I don't think that's all going to be visible. And then now I can go ahead and I'm going to take my frame, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that flower. Oh, maybe I'll do the flower first, actually. So when I do it this way, I just try and keep it fairly light, because I often will push too hard and then I end up bending my little piece. So that's annoying. There, that's enough. Just needs a little bit. And then I got to be really careful, because this is yellow. This is really going to show if I'm too heavy-handed with it. So just being really careful, trying to pick up those edges more than anything. But it's pretty thin, so it's mostly just edge. I don't even think I'm going to put any more ink on it, because it's pretty saturated with ink already. There, that's good enough. Okay. And so then I'm also going to try something with this. So I posted this week about using like shimmer brushes. So these are actually from Spectrum Noir. It says sparkle. So I don't know. So this is like the gold color. It has a lot of color to it. But I tested it and it doesn't show up. So see, it's got a lot of color to it. But when you're putting it on this darker color, it doesn't really change the color of this. So I'm just trying to hit the pieces and not the branch. So the buds, the flowers. And it just, look, it has a really nice little sparkle there. Right? Like that. Like I said, it doesn't really have a big impact on the color. There we go. Okay, so let's just set that aside for a minute, and then I'm going to grab this other one and see if I can do it while it's on here, because I forgot. just need to be careful going to the edges. And it's really not too hard as long as I am careful. This is working okay. I'm gonna just get a little bit more. So if you've never used these, you do need to, they're like a paintbrush. So, yeah, paint brush. Like a water brush. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. But you need to give them a little bit of a squeeze, but if you squeeze them too much, it will puddle ink everywhere. So you got to be really careful. Don't squeeze it over your project unless you actually want big, huge blobs, which sometimes I've done. Because sometimes you do want that. But I find this sparkle kind of really doesn't work that great when you do it that way. Okay, that worked out okay. So see, just a little bit of a shimmer. Not a lot, but a little. Okay, so now we can just set that aside. That's done. And we can work on assembling this. So I'm going to put that up there out of the way so it can finish drying. Okay, let's do this brad pokey tool. I'm just going to fudge that a little bit because that the image shows a hole in there, but it's like really, really tight to the edge. So I'm just going to fudge that because the bread's going to cover it up anyway. Now this might be too big, but I have a way to fix that if I really need to. Oh, there, look, I just folded it so that they are pointed down. They're very thin, so they're easy to manipulate. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit harder because I trimmed this photo just to fit within this frame, so it makes it very tight. And then I have to figure out how to get that to stay there and then actually be able to center this. So not the easiest thing to do, but you know what might work? I'm going to try something. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on there just to get that lined up. And I'm going to take my die, see if this is going to work. Center that. Doesn't matter that it's upside down. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here. Let me see if I can line this up. And then maybe, look at that. I could just slide that off of there. Woohoo. Okay, let's see if that worked. That was good thinking. Okay, so then I just take this and now I can stick this down to like the entire piece. Make sense? So it looks a little bit wonky there. So it might have shifted while I did that. So let's just look. Yeah, I think it's okay. Okay. I'm going to try to stick this down. Hopefully my glue doesn't dry before I get this done. I don't really need glue on every little piece, but I don't like it if these little bits are not glued down because they can get caught on other things. So I like to make sure that they have some adhesive on them. The glue. Get that going. Quick, quick, quick. But I don't want too much glue to be oozing out either all over the vellum. Would have been really good if I'd thought to put some double-sided adhesive on the back of this, but I struggle with cutting the paper once I have that adhesive on it. Doesn't always cut all the way through for me. Okay, I think I'm good. Now this is the fun part, seeing if I can get it to line up without getting glue everywhere. Oops, Okay, that looks pretty good. I think I got it. Give it a good rub this way. Make sure that glue's holding down. There we go. What do we think there? So I didn't want to, like you can obviously matte that with another color, but I didn't want to cover up all of the pretty paper, right? Because this mat is actually bigger. So I need, oh, my little flowery piece. Oh, my glue's already gummy. There we go. So this little piece, I'm just going to put here. Yeah, I think I will keep that both there because I'm going to put that under so you can see it. And then this white one as well. Like that. And then this little guy is going to go like that. Okay. So let's stick these down first. Get that one out because it's thicker. So, oh, no, that's okay. Sorry, I thought I forgot something, but that's the next step. It's okay. It's all good. And then we'll tuck this one in here. Maybe there. There we go. Okay, I better stick this down before I forget it. So I'm just gonna, well, I wonder if I should stick some adhesive. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna be okay without any adhesive on the outside of the vellum. Okay, and then this one. Excuse me. Okay, let's. This is kind of gummed up now. I didn't close it right away. This is why I want to get one of those guns. Glue presses, that's what they're called. Make it so much easier. So, make sure I got enough on there, but not too much. Again, I don't want it oozing out all over the place. Okay, and that is gonna go. Gotta make sure it's not too close to the corner or the fold, because otherwise then it will get like bent. Okay, get my glue closed up again. Come on, there we go. Okay, and then I can just use this here. Come on. Oops. That can go. No, it needs to go this way so it's opposite. Yeah. Cool. So those 2 pages are done. But, secret pocket. Okay, so when I assembled this, again, if you go back to that video, I used one of the postage stamp, or it was a planner die with the postage stamp pocket page filler one. Anyway, I created these pockets and then I made these tabs. So I got a couple of photos to add there. I am going to stamp on this though. So this little stamp comes from the In Full Bloom stamp set. So Beauty. So I'm going to stamp that onto the little tab, and I think I'm going to use black because this is a pretty dark color, and I do have the other text is black, so it should work nicely. So I'm also think I'm going to put some padding underneath. I'm just going to get my other one. So when I'm stamping on something that's thick like this, that has like edges, I mean, honestly, every time you should have a nice bit of a foam underneath. It needs to be firm, but it really does give you a much crisper stamped image. So if you're ever struggling with your stamps to get them nice and crisp, this is a good way to help that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get my head in here to get this nice and lined up. There we go. Nice. Okay, so that worked out well because even though it's black, it's really, because that's so dark, it actually, I like the way that looks. Okay, so let's just clean that up. I don't know if I want to stamp something on the other side. I didn't pull anything out. You know what? I think I will. This is in full bloom, so I'm just going to stamp bloom on here. I think that will be nice. It should fit. I think it's the same size. So, yeah, okay. Just want to make sure there's no oils on there. Really hope I'm not missing any comments, but I still don't see any comments on there. Okay. So, sorry, excuse my head again. I just want to make sure I only get ink on that word bloom, which I have, and then I'm just going to have to come back over again to line that up. Ah, lovely. That worked. Okay. Get that out of the way. And then I can put that stamp away. So that worked really well. So, very handy to have these little foam pieces. So I find it's really, I struggle with the plastic that stamps come with, so I just got this roll of foam and I just cut it up whenever I get a new stamp, and then that's what I keep on the back of my stamps, and then I put them in these envelopes. Okay, so now I can get this out of the way. I just need a little drink here. Okay, so now we can move on to the next step. Got to get myself organized up here. Okay. So this one, I think I'm going to do this way. We'll do this way. Okay. So, same idea, but I did it differently. So this is the page fillers again, or the pocket fillers. Journal sleeves fillers, sorry. Journal sleeves fillers, too. So this time I used this one. So this one's smaller, but I ran through my photo and with the die. So I went like this, and I ran that through to cut out the shape so that it will sit inside it nicely, and I don't have to fiddle around with lining it up like I did with that other one. So just two different ways to do that to get it to work nicely. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue this down first, then I'm going to put this in and make sure I have it the right way up. So again, I just want to try and grab all of these little bits that are sticking out on their own. Just especially like this one is going to get stuck in the pocket, so you don't want these little bits kind of getting jammed up as you're sliding it into the pocket. But hopefully they won't. I'm going to have to be careful with the vellum with that too. Because if I don't adhere it down fully, then it's going to be at risk of getting caught every time you're putting it in and out of the pocket. Whoa. Back on there. Oh, that's a little bit too thick. So sometimes if you find that you get a little bit too much, oh, I use my fingers, but you can dab it on a piece of paper and just get out that like really, really thick bit. So, straight, I think so. Flip that over and really give that a push to get that glue hopefully all stuck down and hopefully not oozing out too much. But again, I just stick my finger down and it usually pulls up any of the excess. Okay, now I just got to make sure I get this lined up properly because as you see, it's the wrong way. It goes this way. Oops. And then it's going to fit in there like that. Isn't that great? It fits in there beautifully. Oh, I didn't stick down. There we go. Okay, so this time I can just use my tape runner. I think I might put a little bit of this on here too, just to make sure that those little bits don't pop out or get caught on anything. Oh, I got a little extra piece in there, I think. There we go. I've got to get this out. There's it right there. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. Okay, so now I can just take the wrong way again. I have this upside down now. Okay. Slide that in there. Okay, glue everywhere. I think I'm okay. There we go. I did kind of get some glue on there. Yeah, my nail can get it off better. Oh, stick down. Okay, there we go. So there you can see how that went in there nicely. I might have to stick a little bit more glue, a couple of those spots. I might have not gotten it quite lined up properly. I don't know. Anyway. There we go. Okay, so this time I'm going to offset this. And I'm keeping this pretty simple because, again, it's going in and out of the pocket, so I don't want too much stuff on there. And hopefully this will go in and out of the pocket, okay, without it being stuck down. So I'm going to go up a little bit. I'm just going to line that right up with the edge. Then I stamped and cut out all of these sayings. So the journal phrases for set. So this is part of the same Hinged to the Past set, and it comes with the matching die. So you stamp it, the whole thing once, run it through the machine once, and then you have a whole pile of these little words. These are great little words to add onto pretty much anything. I forgot that again. Okay, so I'm just going to ink these up. So it's a bit of an off-white color that I stamped on, which again, I did the black, but I like to distress it. So this one, I'm going to put on the other page. So this one I'm going to put here. You are a work of art. So even though they're kind of weeds, dandelions, they're still kind of pretty. I'm not even sure if I took these photos. My boys at one point were taking a photography course, and they were taking like random pictures of things. So they took a few pretty good pictures, and I just put them all in the same spot on my computer. So I just grabbed the ones I liked. Okay. So I think I'm just going to keep it that simple. I'm going to put the liquid glue on it again because I think that's going to hold those edges down better. It'll make it easier to go in and out of that pocket. Right there. Okay, as you can see, that's kind of curling, so I could put some glue under there, but it's still gonna not be stuck down on the edge, so I think I'll leave it. Okay, now the other side, really simple. There's a bit of glue on there. I just cut another photo mat, so just ink that up. Sorry, just checking the time there because it doesn't update for me unless I touch the screen. Okay, stick this photo down. So this time I'm gonna make sure I put adhesive all the way around this, so it's easier to go in and out. Like this. I think I might need to trim that mat a bit. Let's see. No, that's a little bit. I don't think I quite got it the right size, so let's do it like. Oh. Okay, this is. I'm not getting this right. Something's wonky here. Just trying to get it even all the way around. There we go. That's better. Whoa. Sorry about that. Just shook the whole desk. Okay, there we go. And then same with this little phrase. I thought it was kind of fun, this "don't forget to fly," because dandelions tend to fly around. So I thought that suited it nicely. Just sometimes it's easier to do it like this. Just don't want to use a lot of pressure because then I'll end up with like marks and stuff on it. There we go. Okay, and then again, I just am keeping this simple. I don't want both sides to look the same, so I think I'm going to just do that this time. Get my adhesive like right up to the edge this time, at least as close as I can. Didn't do too good on that last one. And then we'll just put this so that it's centered. And I did remember to put it the right way up, so that's good. And I am just about done. Okay, let's put this on here right away this time. There. Okay. There. So, I'm done. That was pretty good. Pretty quick. So there is, that wasn't good. My 2 pages and my little pocket card, which will go in here. So just be careful to make sure that everything is in there. There we go. All done that one. And these ones, and now I'm gonna have to stick this back on here. Look at that. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you leave a little comment there if you watched it in the replay, and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.